Hey all, welcome back to Power Forge and Workshop. I'm going to do two relatively short videos today before I go on a little road trip vacation on Route 66. The first one is setting up a network drive on my Syil X7. I have the Siemens 808D advanced controller, and on my last rant video someone asked in a comment if I would do a little video on how I set that up, and I will. I'm going to do that right now. And I've got the instructions printed out from the manual, from the programming and operation manual provided by Siemens. And in essence, all I did was I followed these steps, and the manual is perfectly adequate for doing this. The problem arises. The problem, I think, that most of us who have this older 808D advanced operating system is when it was designed on several Windows computer iterations ago. So if you have a Windows 7 or earlier, Windows 7 Vista XP, it'll go off without a hitch. It'll work perfectly. I think the problem people have nowadays is they're using Windows 10 is what I have, or Windows 11, and it just won't work. The security, the network security, I'm not going to get into the details, but the network security is better today than it was back then, and so the Syil won't connect to a shared network drive that you've created on a newer Windows operating system. So there are a few different ways you could go about doing this. One is, well, you can create your own server, right? It's pretty easy to set up a server using Linux. A little harder getting the settings right. If you're a computer guy and you know what you're doing, you could go that way. I've seen guys, you can use an old laptop. I've read about or seen guys on Facebook who got a Raspberry Pi, set up a Linux server, and then pointed the Syil at the server to get their drive. I didn't do these things. I'm actually okay with computers. I was trained in another life to program in Java and Python, and I know my command line, and I've worked a lot with Linux. But I didn't go that route. I took a really easy route. A few years back, I created a small little server rack in my basement. That year, our furnace went out. We have a geothermal. Our furnace went out. We had zero AC, so all of my projects for about a month were downstairs. So, as you can see here, I've got a little server rack. Everything, this is the brains of my home network. So everything comes and goes through here. I've just got a simple switch, but right here you can see I have an old laptop, and this is where I kind of cheated. My mother-in-law, God bless her soul, passed away a couple months ago, and we found this laptop amongst her things. It's Windows Vista. I set up a network drive on the Windows Vista, and I plugged it in here in this server rack position, and shared it with, created a shared network drive on this Windows Vista, and then here in the shop, my laptop can see it, and I provisioned my desktop computer in my office to also access that. And then I came out to the shop, fired up the Syil, and pointed the Syil at that laptop's IP. That's the easiest way to do it. If you can find or have a laptop that's Windows 7 or XP, it's the easy way to do it. I can't speak to how secure that laptop is, or if it's I'm sure in a cyber situation someone could use that as an access point to my network, but I'm a nobody. I feel safe setting it up this way. All right, so let's take a look at the 808D processor and go through these steps, and I'll show you how I did it and how it looks when you know you've done it right. So we have to do two things on the controller in order to get our network drive, okay? Normally when you go into your program, into your NC drive, this is what you see. And what we want to do is configure this network drive. So first we have to establish a network connection, and then we're going to come back in here to configure and then configure our network drive. To establish a network connection, we're going to hit Shift and System Alarm. This is what you'll see. Next step is we're going to set, well, it says set password, but we're going to log in with our password, okay? And I'll fast forward to this. You don't need to know my password. After we've set the password, we're going to go to this service display, hit the soft key below that, and then we're going to come over here to service control. On the service control screen, we've got, you look at these, you can see these two options. We have direct connect and then we have service network. If you select direct connect, it will automatically, well, provision an IP to connect directly to or with a standalone laptop. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to have a network connection. So I'm going to deselect this. Service network is now showing again. So next we're going to go into service network. The service control screen uses a TCP IP protocol. Here on the DHCP, you can select yes or no. I've got yes. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and basically it's a management protocol that automatically will assign an IP for your network, for your SIL. So here where it says 192.168 blah blah blah, that is the IP address of this machine. The computer name, that's the default name that came up on SIL. I just left that the same. And then you save this information when you're done. Okay, this is the easy part. I'm going to cancel. Cancel and back. It's already saved. Now, once we've done this, we can go into our network drive option here, Program Manager, Network Drive, and then we can configure the network drive. Now that we're here, I'm assuming that you've already provisioned a directory or shared a directory on your computer network. However you're going to do that. Again, I did the easy way. I'm using a Windows Vista computer. I have a user. I just put owner, and then the password. That's the password to the computer, and then path. That is my network path to my computer. I just named my computer owner-PC, and then the folder that I'm sharing is CAM. Now this is where it could get tricky for some of you. Unlike other password fields that you're probably used to, even on your phone, you'll be able to see what you type. But on this 808D, it is always an asterisk or a star, or I'm probably mispronouncing that. But it's always this symbol. You're never sure if you have typed the correct password or not. There are two ways. Well, and it's case sensitive. You can. What I did was in my username, I practiced typing my password here a couple of times until I was comfortable and confident with it, and then I typed it in there. A lot of people don't like these keyboards. This is an odd setup if you're used to the QWERTY and not this. You can plug in a USB keyboard in here and have some functionality. It's not perfect, but you can try that. I tried it, I didn't like it. I thought it was very easy to come in here using Alt-L to go from caps lock or lowercase. It just toggles back and forth. Once you have this set up, hit OK. Well, we already set it up, so I'm going to hit cancel and cancel again. And then you have if the drive is working, you're going to have a yellow drive. I believe it's red if it's not going to work. So it's as easy as that. It's not very difficult. The biggest difficulty again lies in setting up that directory. If you're going to use a server, or if you're going to wuss out like I did and use a Windows Vista. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions about the process, leave it in the comments, or better yet, go to the Facebook group. There are a lot of smart guys on there smarter than me, who have also successfully set up the network drive, and they are a wealth of knowledge and very helpful. All right, take care.